Good morning, is it from Zetster's Lab? This morning when I woke up, I got a message in my Whatsup, and when I read it, immediately when I read it, it's about something that might happen in 2 weeks from now. And when I read it, fear just started to rise up in me. It was just absolutely crazy. My peace and joy was gone, and I was just immediately in so much fear. And then I read something, and it's something like that. It's only when you allow fear to enter in that it can steal your life. And I allowed it. I was entertaining those thoughts. You know, the thoughts, what if this is now going to happen in 2 weeks' time? And I was thinking of all the scenarios and where it's going to leave me. And it was terrible. And then I remember what our spiritual father said. Do not allow the enemy to enter into your home, into your life. Do not allow the enemy with all his lies to come and do what? Steal, kill and destroy your life. It's not talking about this physical body and my physical home and whatever. It's talking about the abundant life that is in us. You know, our spiritual father source tells us, peace and joy, my peace I will leave with you. Where will he leave that peace? In us. The peace is who we are in spirit. He also says, my life, I will leave my life with you, in you. We've got the abundant life. But the minute we start to entertaining these thoughts, it steals the life in us. It also says that there's going to come times when thousands are going to fall next to you, but you will not be touched. It's not about talking about a spiritual war and a physical war, and you now going into war, into this terrible situation, and you're going to be the only one physically standing, and all the rest is going to be dead. It's talking spiritually. Thousands will fall next to you through fear, and you will be the one standing when you do not allow fear to enter in, to steal, kill and destroy the abundant life that we all have right here, right now. That life is in us. Everything that I need and you need to live victoriously through this moment now, we have in us. All wisdom, all power. I know I sound like a tap that's dripping, but this is the message that I need to share, even if there's just to go out into the spiritual realm, whatever. So that's why I'm doing this. And we've got what it takes. That life, abundant life, that is flowing, the river of life, it's flowing in and through us with everything that we need to live victoriously through this moment. We are fully equipped. But then we start to worry about tomorrow. We start to entertain these enemies, these thoughts, these vain imaginations. And at the end, they come into our home, our spiritual life, and they steal, kill and destroy what we need to desperately live victoriously through this situation that we find ourselves in now. My peace and joy I leave with you. It's in me. I've got it. I've got whatever it takes to get through the situation that I am in now. I am fully equipped. All my needs are met. But I'm not equipped to deal with fears and vain imaginations that I might entertain about things that might happen in the future. And then the minute we do and we entertain those thoughts, it steals the abundant life that we have inside of us now to live in absolute peace and joy in this moment. So I just had to share it, and then I also had to show you what I did. It was so funny. I got this thing on Facebook that says it's a photo of the whole world burning, and that is exactly what's happening in the world. It was the pandemic, and now in South Africa they're really physically burning down some of our cities. And so yes, we are really living in a physical realm that can be scary. It can scare us literally to death when we entertain those thoughts and fears about things that might happen in the future. So that's why we are told to guard our heart. So yes, back to my thing that I saw, this picture. The one first photo was the whole world is burning, and they say our whole world is burning. And then the second one is, and our artist is saying, will you buy our paintings? It was so funny, because guess what? In the midst of hubby and myself were sick, we don't know if it was COVID or not, we didn't get tested, but we didn't feel well. So I'm not claiming anything, naming and claiming anything. Our bodies didn't feel well, so we were resting. And in the midst of that and everything that's happening in our country, like I said, physically, it is really physically burning and crazy out here. Guess what I was doing? I was painting. So that's why I always say, go and find that thing and go and do it. What helps the peace and the joy that is in you, the life, to pour in you, through you, into this world. So I've been painting. Look at this one. It was I saw this pink flowery picture, and I just thought, I don't want to think, I just want to play. So this is what I did. And then yesterday I saw, look at this, it's a woman in red dress with some roses in a basket, and just look at this beautiful huge rose. And I named this one Peace. Finding my peace. I'm finding my peace. Where? In me. In my very own abundant life. And then I was just really going crazy. And look at this one. And it's just gorgeous. I mean, I was just playing with just one layer upon layer, and when I think it was a mistake, I just went over it with another color, and I just continued until it came out like that. And then it was something like this. It was just this family. We're all part of the human family, and the only way that we can ever be of any use to our physically human family is when we find our peace and joy in the midst of whatever is happening, and we allow the life in us to flow through us, the abundant life. So we all pray and say we want peace on earth, but it needs to start with you. It needs to start with me. If I want to experience peace in my world here around, it needs to start and come out of me first. So the only way that I can help, really spiritually help my human family, is when I guard my heart and allow the abundant life in me to flow out of me into this physical realm. That's the only way that I can really help my human family. So we got to stop entertaining vain imaginations. We got to stop entertaining these thoughts about the future and these what ifs. What if this happens? What if that happens? Our mind, our mind is the enemy, but because what is the mind? The mind is all the things that happened in your past, and the things that you've heard, and the things that you grew up believing, and whatever. You bring all those things of your past with your mind. That is what your mind is. Things that happened in the past and things you grew up believing and whatever. And then it takes things that might happen into the future. So because I felt sick or whatever in the past, I felt like this, then this is going to happen in the future. So that's why our mind is always the enemy, because our mind is just this thing, our thoughts that happened or we thought in the past, and we bring it into this moment, and then we take that and we go into the future and we drag all those things back now, and that is why it's our enemy. And that is how we need to guard our heart. Do not allow the enemy, our mind, to come in with all these what ifs, vain imaginations, and steal the life in us. And this is another one that I did. It's large. It's just this little girl pouring out. And this is what I see. You need to start. That abundant life is in us. So if you need to live victoriously in peace, joy, and power, and experience heaven on earth right now, you need to start allowing the abundant life that is in you to pour through you into this realm. That's the only way that we can help and we can share the abundant life and help the abundant life in others to also come out and touch them and heal them and deliver them and set them free. Whatever. Well, I'm going to post this. I don't know who's going to see it or if it's going to help someone, but I know we're spiritual beings, first of all, and then we manifest through our bodies and whatever in this world what's inside of us. So if you are bound by fear, you will look into this world, into your earthly life, and you will experience and encounter and see fearful situations all over the place. If you're bound by hate, that is what you will experience when you go out into the world, into the shops, into your workspace, into wherever you go. You will see hate all around you, because that is what's keeping you hostage. That's why the only war that we will ever have is in our minds, and we need to realize flesh and blood is not our enemy. People are not the enemy. People cannot do anything to us. Yes, to our physical bodies and lives, but not to our souls and our spirits. And happiness and joy, I'm talking about the power and the wisdom and whatever we have, we can only experience when we live allow the life in us to heal us. First of all, we need healing and deliverance. If you find yourself in a situation where I always say, when you find yourself in a situation, what manifests through you? You are in this really tough situation. What manifests? Is it peace and joy in the midst? Is it abundant life? Is it unconditional love towards yourself and others? Is that what's manifesting in this cooking pot or situation? Or do you manifest anger, resentment, fear, hate? Whatever you manifest, that's your enemy. That's what's keeping you from experiencing the abundant life in you. And that is what you need to deal with. So when you experience hate, instead of blaming and fear, instead of blaming people and situations, you've got to realize that is your enemy that you need to deal with. And focusing on that instead. This morning I realized the fear, it was my enemy. I need to deal with that fear that was rising up in me. And once again, it was fear of losing my earthly life, my livelihood, what I have accumulated, because we're busy with these riots and burning and whatever, and in South Africa. So my fear came from losing my earthly life, and I need to let go of that. So, Father, it's my spiritual life, my source, you're in control. I am in need of absolutely nothing. Whatever happens in this moment and in the future, it's all for my good, because it will show me what I need to deal with in my spiritual realm. So it's always for my good. And to set me more and more free, make me more and more whole. And to just realize whatever may happen in the future, the life in me, the abundant life in me, will still be there, because that will also be only now. Now I can only experience this realm, this moment. Also the life in me is only pouring and flowing and manifesting into my world now. So now I will always only have now, and now all my needs will always meet, because all wisdom and all protection and provision and peace and joy and power and love is what I am in spirit, and that will always flow through me if I just guard my heart against the enemy, my mind, that will always comes with vain imaginations, fear, doom and gloom of things that might happen in the future. So thanks for tuning in. Thanks that I can share my road with you, my path, my journey through this realm, because that's all that it is. I manifest in this realm, earthly realm, what's in my heart. So I can share this morning with you that I was bound by fear because of something I read about something that might happen in the future, and that might make my life in this realm difficult or whatever. But it's not happening now. So I don't know. The wind is blowing, but it's so wonderful. I don't now have in me what I need to deal with those things, because it's not happening now. The spirit in me, my life, is only giving me what I need to deal with what I need to deal with now. That's why all my needs are always met. So that's why we're told to fear not tomorrow. That's why we're told that thousands will fall next to us due to fear. Because this morning, as I was experiencing this fear rising up in me, I physically felt weaker and weaker. I felt how the life in me was starting to, I don't know how to say it, but just became weaker and weaker as the fear became stronger and stronger. I felt physically tired, and then I started to feel physically ill, until I started guarding my heart, coming back to this truth that I'm sharing with you. Because the truth will set you free from the fear and vain imaginations, lies, deceit of the enemy. That's your mind. Thanks for tuning in. So that is why people are dying physically, really, and of fear. The fear comes in and destroy and steal the abundant life. So that's why when we start to walk in the truth and in spirit, we also experience physical healings. Just like we experience physical dis-ease when we allow fear and anger and resentment and hate to steal the abundant life in us. Is it from Zetster's Lab? Have a fantastic day. Love you lots. And we got this because we've got the abundant life in us. All our needs are met. All we need to do is guard our hearts, our minds. Guard our hearts by not listening to all the doom and glooms. Have a fantastic day. Love you lots.